And my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes.
Turn and face the strange.
Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes.
Turn and face the strange.
Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Watch the ripples change their size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes.
Turn and face the strange.
Changes. Don't tell them to grow up out of it. Changes.
Turn and face the strange.
Changes. Where's your shame you've left us up to our next event? Time may change me, but you can't twist time. Strange fascination fascinating me. Our changes are taking the pace I'm going through. Changes.
Turn and face the strange.
Changes. Oh, look out, you rock and rollers. Changes.
Turn and face the strange.
Changes. Pretty soon now you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but I can't trace time.
By David Bowie, and it starts with, I still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild. So the I is a first person point of view, and it indicates the speaker is talking about personal experiences or something that's happened to themselves. And then my time was running wild is a personification of time, and kind of like just a chaotic situation. Usually when children or the people are young, it's a chaotic time when they're trying to find themselves. A million dead-end streets. Every time I thought I'd made it, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So a million is a hyperbole, and that also kind of indicates that the narrator at this point is young, or the speaker at this point is very young, and kind of exaggerates things still. And it seemed the taste was not so sweet is a metaphor for things not turning out. There were a lot of opportunities taken and doors that once the speaker got into those situations, it wasn't exactly what he was hoping for. So I turned myself to face me. And so these are kind of some man in the mirror vibes. He's taking a look at himself deep down, kind of, is this really what he wants to do with his life? Kind of why are things going so poorly for him, at least. But I've never caught a glimpse of how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. And this whole section is talking about kind of how he kind of told himself that he was looking at himself intrinsically, but really he just kind of kept moving and kept going on. with the way his life was going and the decisions he was making. So he wants to make something of himself and he wants to change, but he really has no initiative or drive to change.
So this is the chorus of the song, and just so you can see how we laid it out, where the arrow is drawn, it's that the chorus goes in between those two sets of words. And in the chorus, there are 3 separate choruses throughout the song, and they're indicated like where they fall by the colors. So purple comes first, and then blue, and then red. So just to make it easier to annotate, make our annotation shorter. So it goes changes. So that's kind of like a nervous stutter, and it also goes along with the music, like he's nervous to be facing this change. Turn and face the strange, changes. So turn and face the strange is like you have to handle the problems head on and just turn and brave them. Even though the changes can be scary, you don't know what's coming. So then it goes, don't want to be a rich man, and then the first part of the chorus again, just gonna have to be a different man. So don't want to be a richer man could either mean like he could want to either be richer in knowledge or richer in money. So he doesn't want to like gain anything else. He just knows that he's gonna have to change. So he's not looking to gain more. He's just looking to change. So changes. And then it goes, and then it'll go the original chorus again, and then don't tell them to grow up and out of it. Where's your shame? You've left us up to our necks in it. So when it says don't tell them to grow up and out of it, so don't tell those kids to grow up and out of it. Don't tell them to change. Don't tell them to grow up because they're going to be facing these changes that I'm facing. Where's your shame? You've left us up to our necks in it. So the person that he's upset with, like, where's your shame? Like, why aren't you shameful? You've made me so shameful for growing up, and like now I have to change because you've made me so shameful for who I am and not changing. And then it's the original chorus again, and then oh look out you rock and rollers, the original chorus, pretty soon now you're gonna get older. So, oh, look out, you rock and rollers. So, look out, all you rock and rollers are associated with, like, young kids, people who are, like, trying to get up and get out in the world. Pretty soon now you're going to get older. So, eventually you're going to get older and you're going to be changing. So, pretty soon now, before you know it, you're going to get older. So, watch out because it's coming and the speaker didn't see it coming. And then the last line of all the choruses is, time may change me, but I can't trace time. And this is a really iconic line from this song, and it sets the tone. And although time may change me, so time may change and make me a different person, I can't see the change happening. I didn't foresee the change. So time may change who I am, but I can't see the change as it's happening. I can only see it in the long run. I can't trace back.
So this next verse says, I watch the ripples change their size, but never leave the stream. And so this is the narrator, speaker, sees that things are kind of like the effects of the changes and the changes in other people, but nothing's actually like very significantly happening. Like, people aren't going and changing the world. They're just making small, minute changes in their life, which are kind of insignificant, of warm impermanence. And so the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. So this is the narrator kind of graduating from that young mental state where they can go and do everything and they can change the world, probably fresh out of college, really excited about their life, into kind of the adult that got a job and starts paying the bills and lives in the reality of the adult world, but doesn't really, things just kind of float really quickly and time just kind of passes by without anything significant happening, nothing extraordinary. And then the last section, which is pretty much where the tone and the message come in, is, and these children that you spit on as they try to change their world are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. And so this is basically saying that the younger generation, that the narrator's generation is trying to kind of advise not to go into certain fields or not to do certain things because it's kind of useless, because they're just going to end up being normal citizens, yet they're not, the younger generation's not heeding that advice, kind of like how the narrator, when he was younger, didn't heed that advice, because when you're young, you don't want to listen to it. And it's just kind of saying that you have to let the kids grow up and make their mistakes, that you can't, like, you can advise them, but it's not necessarily, they're not going to take that advice. And to just kind of remember that you were at one point them, and that you aren't that superior to them. And yeah.
So the next part, this is the bridge, and it's strange fascinations fascinating me. Changes are taking the pace I'm going through. So strange fascinations fascinating me is like all these different things, like he's tempted, all these new things are fascinating him, like he's realizing the benefit of the change, and then changes are taking the pace I'm going through. So he's not so affected by the change because he's changing along with it and he's realizing it, and changes are going at his pace now, and it's not just so sudden because he's come to realize the change. Okay, so this is the soapstone for the song. So the speaker is David Bowie, who wrote the song and performed the song, but it can also pertain to the listener or if someone else is performing this song, if they feel they're undergoing a change, but it is in first person, so it is whoever is singing the song. The occasion is a lesson about maturity, regardless of your age, how you can still mature at any age and how that maturity can affect you and how you need to, like, the proper steps to take to mature. The audience is really anyone undergoing change, anyone who, like, regardless of age, anyone who feels like they're undergoing change, or something is happening to them in their life. Purpose to warn and, like, to warn younger generations that everything isn't all happy all the time and that changes will happen to you and they can be good and they can be bad, and to find acceptance to those changes, so what's happening is okay and how you're going to adjust yourself. And the subject is change. We've said it about 1,000 times. It's change. That's what it's about, and like how those differences can come to help you. And the tone, it starts off very worrisome within the first verse and in the first chorus, that they're the speaker is worried about the change, like they don't know what to expect from it, and then it turns into inquisitive, so almost like, what is this change, into the second stanza and the second verse and the second chorus, and then through the bridge and the third chorus, he's finally accepted the change, and with the pickup in the music, so like how the music beat picks up, you can tell that the change is accepted, and it's like, okay, I'm changing and I'm fine with that. So, yeah.